Pittsburgh Pirates completely dominated by the Philadelphia Phillies. Then their four-game series is tied at 1. Um, Christopher Sanchez, yeah, he's pretty good. He's one of the best left-handed pitchers in all of baseball, and the Pirates have well documentedly struggled against lefties this year, and it went just about as you'd expect. The Sanchez, there's 7 shutout innings, only allows 3 hits, walks 2, and strikes out 9. Like I said, just dominant from the get go. They didn't have no one had an answer to the changeup. He got 15 whiffs on 29 swings, so over 50% whiff rate with it, and then even with the slider, he had 8 whiffs on 13 swings. So even the slider was working well for him. He had 23 whiffs between the changeup and slider. He can get any whiffs with the fastball, with the sinker. It's all with the slider and changeup, and they're. I mean, I think you can dial back or take a look back and think about the start, and I don't think any at bat probably symbolizes the struggles that the Pirates had more than one of the Endy Rodriguez at bats. 3 straight changeups, 3 straight swings and misses. If there might have only been one that was in the zone, and he chased on 2 of them, they weren't very competitive. I was surprised that I'm sure bigger picture, like you can say that you wanted to give O'Hearn a day off with them, playing so many games in a row. And I guess facing a lefty is just as good of an opportunity to do it as you can. But it was a little rough to see Endy Rodriguez play, not because he hasn't been playing well. Obviously, he's been one of their best hitters, and it was kind of good to see like a little the good old positional flexibility, get him out in first base, because I know he struggled a little bit behind the plate as far as receiving and stuff like that. So maybe getting him out from behind home plate, but you keep the bat in the lineup. That's not a bad thing. What was probably not ideal with it was the fact that he was facing lefties, and he has a negative WRC plus in his major league career against left-handed pitching. Has never really hit left-handed pitching well. He's a switch hitter, so in the right side of the batter's box. I mean, I can see the want to get as many right-handers in there when you're facing someone like Sanchez. You just kind of saw what the changeup did, so that's kind of the drawback to it. But yeah, I don't really like to nitpick the lineups there, because I think if you go game by game, you kind of miss like what they're trying to do in the bigger picture as far as trying to get guys days off and going with certain hitters in certain situations, and there's a lot going on, and you can't really ride it day to day. That being said, with how hot Endy's been, it'd be kind of frustrating to put him out there in a situation that that he's probably not going to do well, and then he didn't do well. I will say it was good to see him get a base hit later after Sanchez came out of the game. Maybe that kind of just washes the rest of the game down, and he can kind of move forward with it. But he went 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, so not the best day at the plate. And like I said, I hope you're kind of hoping that you're just you can just flush it and kind of just go about it. Probably the only Pirate that really didn't have his worst day at the plate or a bad day at the plate. And Connor Griffin 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Brian Reynolds 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. His on-base streak is over. Marcell Ozuna 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Like I have to believe that the Pirates will have to be willing to cut bait with that once you start getting guys back healthy and stuff like that. Right now, whatever. If he can come up here and there against lefties, that's fine, whatever. But once you get Cruz back, once you get Horwitz back, I just don't see a scenario right now to where, unless he really, really bottoms out, like I don't see a situation to where like you can justify sending Esmeralda and Valdez back to the minors. I think it's still early. I wouldn't say he's earned a spot permanently, but I do think he's earned the opportunity to earn that cementing that spot in the lineup or on the roster. So he had, like, I imagine he probably has, as long as they get healthy, the rest of the team gets healthy. Cruz gets back, they'll have to make a move. Horwitz gets back, they'll have to make another move. So, but Valdez didn't hit a home run, so his 4-game home run streak is over. But he did go 2 for 3 with the walk, and he even for good measure made a really nice catch at the right field wall. So he's batting over 300 with an OPS over 1,000, OPS over 1,100. So good game from him, good stretch for him. Keep him in the lineup. Don't do anything cute. Don't get fancy. I know they're facing Zach Wheeler tomorrow. Keep him in the lineup. Let's try to keep momentum going. Bubba Chandler. The final stat line's not gonna look pretty, but I will say it was a much better start than what the box score is gonna say. By the end of it, he gave up 5 runs and over 6 1/3. Gave up 2 runs early on, and the final 3 were in that 7th inning. It's the first time he pitched into the 7th inning. It wasn't like he had a rough second inning. Gave up the 2 runs then, but other than that, just like he's not missing the kind of bats that you would expect with the stuff that he has. But also, like, I don't at this point, I don't think you really care as long as he's getting outs, and like he worked around some trouble, a little bit of trouble here and there, but for the most part, like I said, good step forward. It was a little bit weird. It was a little bit different how it looked like he chose to attack hitters. Really relied on the fastball slider, which accounted for about 83% of the pitches. Only got 2 whiffs on 24 swings with the fastball, which, I mean, like, looking at it after the fact, I mean, there was nothing really wrong with it, like, stuff plus wise. Wasn't really in the zone much, but, like, he's honestly never really in the zone as it is. He had a 42.2% zone percentage according to TJ Stats on there. We can see what it has it on Savant. Savant says a 53% zone rate. So I mean somewhere in between those two. So like he wasn't. I mean, you want to see it a little bit more. His strike rate for it was 64%, which is fine. 72% strike rate with the slider, 75% strike rate with the changeup. It's a little bit weird that we only saw the eight changeups. Probably would like to see more of that on there. That is like outside his fastball, generally his best pitch. Maybe he just wasn't feeling it, didn't have good feel for it or whatever during the game. So he decided to go away from it. But the fastball slider combination worked pretty good. Like I said, threw the fastball 46% of the time, the slider another 37%. So right at 83% total with those 2 pitches. He's building. It wasn't a good start to the season, but I mean, credit where credit's due. He's kind of, and it hasn't always been pretty, but he's kind of hammered down here and put together some pretty decent starts. Like I said, the ERA and the final line isn't going to be good here. Like he finished the month with a 4.28 ERA, but like you think about, like, he pitched well until that 7th inning. You take the plus out of that, you kind of move on with it. we'll kind of see where he goes from here. But Paul Skeens pitches in Game 3 of the series. He faced Zach Wheeler. That should be a really fun pitching matchup. And then Thursday they'll wrap up the 4-game set with a day game. But flipping over to the minor league side, another week of games started. Before we do that, it's end of the month now. By the time you're listening to this, we'll be in July. I'm recording this after midnight, so it is July. Want to give, I did my monthly prospect report early, just to kind of squeeze it into the schedule that I have. I usually do the farm report on Tuesday. Make sure you check that out. You can check that out every Tuesday. I kind of give break down the top performers as well as the top 10 prospects in the system. And then monthly, I do one monthly report to kind of look at the entire system as a whole. And this time was the first time I did a two player of the months, hitter and pitcher. Connor Whitgriff was the pitcher of the month. He went 3-1 with a 1.86 ERA. And the 1.86 ERA is a testament to how good he was, because he got blown up in his AAA debut. Wasn't pretty, but he still kind of worked through 6 innings. So I mean, that's kind of what he does. But 3-1 with a 1.86 ERA, struck out 32 batters with 6 walks in 29 innings pitched. June 19th. He threw 7 shutout innings against Akron. Struck out 8, only gave up 3 hits. Crafty lefty. Got the pitch data on him when he pitched in AAA. Fastball wasn't, I guess the velocity wasn't nearly what I was kind of expecting. I've seen it a little bit higher. I know he kind of flirts with the average 90 or just under 90 there. But I've seen him throw 91, 92, 93 often. I've seen him hit those in games that I've been at. So kind of be interesting kind of see at his next start where he was. And I believe he should be pitching either Wednesday or Thursday. So it would be good to kind of just get back out there and see how he does on there. But he's a guy who cracked the bottom portion of the top 30 for the midseason update on there. I like the strike throw and I like the pitchability. I mentioned there that he wouldn't surprise me if he's one of those guys that just before you know it, 10 years has passed and he's pitched in the majors for 10 years and as a fifth starter, bouncing around, rebuilding teams, looking for a guy to kind of fill innings and make some starts and stuff like that. And every now and again he puts together a good year and it's kind of packaged in as a rental or something like that to a contending team. One of those kind of careers. The hitter, Murph Gray. I really wanted to try to find someone else, and maybe there are a couple candidates here, but by the time it was done, just kind of looking at anything, it was hard to go against him. He hit 333, 417, 644 with 7 home runs, 15 RBIs, 14 walks to 19 strikeouts. The strikeout rates he's keeping low. The contact rates and the swing and strike rate starting to trend back in the right direction after it looked like they kind of got, moving to Greensboro hit him pretty hard with some of the under the hood data and stuff like that. So it's always kind of keeping the chase rates under control and stuff like that. Maybe a little swing and miss here on some breaking stuff, but nothing too alarming. But I think I'm sure once the team feels comfortable with the swing decisions and whatnot, they'll give him the push to Altoona, and I'm sure he'll finish the year in Altoona. But rest of the minor league rundown. AAA, they win 12-5. Tamar Johnson 2 for 5, 2 RBIs and a walk. Rafael Flores 2 for 3, 3 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, a double. Dominic Fletcher hit a 3-run home run. Christian Curtis didn't make it out of the second inning. He struggled, missing some spots and stuff like that. Double A, they win 12-8. They're playing at Portland. Kellen Moss went 2 for 5. He hit a grand slam, had a stolen base. Kiner Delgado, which I thought it was weird that they sent him back to Altoona. I thought he was playing pretty fine, pretty well there. Nothing wowing and stuff like that. But he heads back there, makes room for Jack Brannigan, which I'm sure Brannigan's on the 40-man roster, so you kind of want to give him a chance to play there, since he's already been called up to kind of sit on the bench for a game. So you kind of want to get him maybe in tougher competition and stuff like that. He is 25 years old too. Deuce Corson, 2 for 3, 2 walks and a stolen base. Greensboro, they win 9-4. Sammy Stafor, he's on a pretty good hot streak right now. 2 for 4 with a double, home run and a stolen base. Johnny Severino hit his 17th home run of the season. 2 RBIs and a double. Brian Sanchez, 1 for 3 with a double. Bradenton wins on a walk-off hit. Antonio Pimentel, 1 for 3 with a walk. Richard Ramirez, 2 for 4 with a double. Braylon Brazaban hit his first low A home run, smoked it. 107.5 off the bat. There's a lot more swing and miss there than I originally thought. But I do like the tools. I do like the physicality and stuff like that. So we'll see how that kind of evens out as the sample size gets a little bit bigger. Complex, Daryl Morrell, he hit a home run. It's the start of the season. It's kind of good to see that from him. He needed that. It's been kind of a rough stretch. Jonathan Rivera, 2 for 3 with a double. The DSL Gold team, they win 23-6. Hanley Ramirez, not that Hanley Ramirez, went 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. He has 4. I have to look at it because there has not been that many home runs hit by the 2 Pirates teams, and I'm willing to bet that Hanley Ramirez, he has 4 now, makes up a pretty good chunk of the total home runs that the 2 teams have hit collectively. So I have to take a look at that. The DSL black team, they lose 8-1 to the Arizona, and Fraylin Rodriguez, wasn't much going on that one. 1 for 2 with the RBI and a walk. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, Bucks on Deck Substack, daily content on the Pirates organization. I don't know how good this mic is, but you might be hearing my dog behind me grunting and moaning because I think she wants to be let out. She can't make up her mind. So subscribe to this Substack. We still have that 30% sale going on. Get 30% off yearly subscription when you sign up. Pay for a year. Gets you access to player features, scouting reports, video breakdowns, in-depth analysis that I don't think you're going to find anywhere else because there's not many other people who are sitting around and watching Dominican Summer League games at 11, 12 o'clock and have someone at the Complex League games and that kind of stuff. So you get a look that not many others can provide. So give us a try. There is a 7-day free trial that you can do before you opt in. Check out the YouTube channel. I'm going to be working on a couple long-form videos within the next couple days and hope to have them out by the end of the week. Subscribe. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.